Hey guys, Doug with Pinetree Line, and it's been a minute or two, but I'm still around. Basically, over the last few months, I haven't really put out a whole lot of content. The reason for that is I've just taken some time for myself and my family and getting some stuff done around the house. Just getting away from YouTube a little bit, the constant need or feel that you need to put out videos on a weekly basis to kind of keep up with everybody just got to be a little too much, and I just thought, you know what, I need to take some time for me, do the things I like doing without having to bring a camera around or what have you. I've been out every weekend out in the bush, whether it's to bring the dog for a walk or hike. I just haven't felt the need to, you know, put that on video and share it, and I don't want to bore you guys with stuff that's really not that interesting in my opinion. So, but I am embarking on a big, for myself anyways, a big canoe trip. As you're watching this video now, I'm probably already back, and I'm probably editing that trip as we speak. But basically going up to the Spanish River. It's going to be about a 55-kilometer paddle. We're going to head north and come down the Spanish River from the Forks down to the Elbow. What's interesting about this trip is you take the train to get up there, and then you paddle back down, which is kind of cool. An interesting concept, I think. And basically, I'm totally a novice paddler, a flat water paddler. I'm usually going on lakes and then going fishing and doing some camping. So for me, this is like a big deal because of the type of river the Spanish River is. It's an old river that's been used for logging for well over 150 years. And this time of year, the water's usually at a decent level, but we haven't had a whole lot of snow over the past winter, and we didn't have a lot of spring rains. So expect the river to be kind of low, and that's what we're hearing. And it can fluctuate in the spring. It can be up to 1 to 3 meters higher, which is about 3 to 10 feet higher than normal. And I think we're going to be on the low side of that, which is going to expose a lot of boulders and make a lot of the swifts and rapids a little more difficult to get around than normal. A lot of times you're just flying over it. On the positive side, maybe not as much portaging around rapids, might be able to get through them in this case. But it's my first experience at this. I know I'm going to be at the back of the canoe steering, so if we run into some rocks and stuff, I guess I got to take the blame for that. On this trip, I'm going with my buddy Todd, my buddy Ray, and Ray's son Josh. So Todd and I are going to be riding in a canoe together, and Ray and his son Josh will be riding another canoe together. So that'll be a lot of fun. Todd and Ray were with me at Duke Lake. We did a video there in October. We went canoe camping, and kind of an interesting tidbit about Duke Lake is it actually is further north and runs down into the Spanish River. We're not going to be going that far up, but a lot of people do. We also got together this past January. We did a little rainbow trout fishing, a little ice fishing. So you can check out either the Duke Lake video or that ice fishing video, or both. They're on the channel. So getting back to the train aspect of this, what's really cool about it is the fact that you basically are dropped off at the side of the tracks, and the river's literally right there, and you just you go put in right off the tracks. So it's not like there's a station at all these stops or whatever. You just pick the place you want to stop at, and they stop there, unload your stuff, and basically at the side of the tracks, and away you go. A little bit more about the Spanish River. You can paddle there from ice out in early May right through to October. Again, different levels of water. High levels in the spring, higher levels in the fall, and usually by August it gets pretty low. I know usually, like I said, around this time of year in June, July, the water levels are pretty decent. But again, this year is a bit of an anomaly because of the lack of snow we got. The river is made up of a lot of swifts, a lot of rapids, and fast-moving water. It makes it so appealing to paddlers all over Ontario and Canada, and potentially, I guess, North America. People are coming here to paddle Spanish, and it's a true wilderness trip in terms of being in the backcountry. There's no cell service. The only thing you have going for you for the most part is the train track runs alongside the river for most of it, or a lot of it, and that is helpful in case of emergency, unless you have a a satellite phone or an emergency spot or a Garmin or something like that. The plan is for this to be a 3-day trip covering 55 kilometers. So we'll kind of break that up over 3 days. And I guess the conditions will dictate a lot of what's happening and how it's happening. And yeah, we'll see how that works out. We've kind of been planning this trip for, probably almost a year now. And we were a little worried it wasn't going to happen because the pandemic closed camping in Ontario for a while. But camping just recently opened up. As far as gear goes, I'm not going to get into all the gear right now, but basically going to bring 2 bags. And one's going to be my canoe bag, my mech slog bag. And I'm bringing a dry bag as well. As a third item, I bought a new food barrel, thanks to Paul over at Ramaco's here in Sudbury. So 3 items. As far as camera stuff goes, I'm going to be using, I'm going to use a smaller camera. I'm going to use my Canon M3 along with my GoPro. GoPro will be doing most of the work on the river and stuff. I decided to go with the M3 just for the form factor. It's smaller than the EOS R. I can easily carry that stuff. It's lighter, it's smaller form factor. I don't plan on using it as much just because we're going to be on the river most of the time. I'm going to use an f-stop ICU bag, internal camera unit bag, basically because it can fit into my slog bag. I don't have to bring a separate bag just for camera equipment. So that's kind of the plan there. The image quality on the M3, of course, not as good as the R, but again, for the amount of time I'll be using that camera, I don't think it'll be a big deal. Like I said, the GoPro will be the camera of choice and doing all the heavy lifting on this trip for the most part. All right, one thing we're doing a little differently on this trip is we're using an outfitter. We're using Spanish River outfitters out of Fox Lake Lodge, and with that we decided to rent a canoe. I didn't want to use my canoe and get her all banged up, so we're going to rent a canoe from them. Also getting our park passes because it is in the Spanish Provincial Park, and they're going to drive us to the train station from Fox Lake Lodge to Cartier, get to the train station and go from there. So it's kind of helpful. It makes things a little bit easier, and at a later time we'll get into more details about how to plan a trip like this, specifically for the Spanish River. Really looking forward to this trip down the Spanish. It's a big trip for me. Again, for others, maybe not. You know, you see a lot of people doing some really, really big trips and some really big backcountry trips and some stuff up really far up north and stuff like that. Don't really have the ability to do that just with my work schedule and stuff. So, you know, for me, this is a big trip, and I'm excited about it. I also got a nice trip coming up with my buddy Mark in September. Looking forward to that as well. It should be a lot of fun. All right, guys, that's it for now. Hopefully the next time we see you, I'll be canoeing down the Spanish River. Look forward to sharing with you guys. I hope you'll watch. And thanks for watching all you do, and appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button so you get notification of the trip and other videos that I'll be putting out. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Take care.